after my mass, there were people, goons, who came.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ito pong inyong lingkod, Sister Des Caredo ng Children of Light Catholic Charismatic Community. Kumusta na po kayo dyan? Samahan niyo po ako sa ating programa na namang May Liwanag. Ngayong araw na ito, ating kikilalanin ng lubos ang pinakamamahal naming pari sa Children of Light, si Father Leonardo Polinar. Atin ding aalamin ang mga hirap na kanyang pinagdaanan bago makamit ang tinatamasang tagumpay at pagkilala ng karamihan dahil na rin sa hindi matatawarang pagmamalasakit na inuukol niya sa mga taong nagnanais maglingkod sa Diyos at maging sa mga kababayan nating kapos at higit na nangailangan ng tulong. Sa atin pong pagbabalik, makausap po natin ang ating pinakamamahal na pari, si Father Leonardo Polinar. Siya po ay founder ng Part1 Community of Priests at founder din po siya ng mga servant communities. Ito po ay charismatic groups ng mga lay people.
I denounced that fellow. I denounced what he was doing.
Maraming proyekto ang Children of Light Foundation Incorporated at ilan sa mga ito ay ang patuloy na pagtulong sa ating sosyedad. Feeding programs sa homeless people ng Metro Manila, scholarship programs, support for the Drug Rehabilitation Center in Magalang, Pampanga, at marami pang iba. Samahan niyo po kami at maging Evangelical Support Partner o ESP kung saan ang bawat sentimong ibibigay nyo ay malayo ang mararating. Maaari po kayong magdeposito ng inyong tulong sa aming bank accounts. Allied Bank account
0271-054293.
Sterling Bank account
531-6000-00502.
PPI dollar account
4954-018801.
Peso account
4053-049061.
Mahal ng Diyos ang masayang nagbibigay sa ministeryo niya. Giving is healing. Be an ESP member. Give now and be healed.
Panganay sa siyam na magkakapatid, tanging si Father Leonardo Polinar lamang ang nakakitaan ng kanyang magulang ng maagang pagkahilig sa bukasyon ng pagpapari. Magandang umaga po, Father.
Magandang umaga naman sa inyo, Sister Lord, Sister Des.
Father, nako, salamat naman po. Pinaunlakan niyo po ang aming request sa inyo na ibahagi niyo po sa ating mga kapatid sa buong bansa.
Mula nung ako'y bata pa, naglalaro pa, maybe mga 3-4 years old, ganon, sinabi ng aking mga magulang, at saka ako mismo, I still remember that. I used to play mass, play religious activities. Like, I used to act as a priest. Yan. Nakakagulat yung maliit pa ko. Magka-cut out ako ng Manila paper, isusuot ko yung parang pari at magmimisa ko. Yan ang laro ko. Tsaka, nung malaki-laki na ako, maybe mga 5 years old, 6 years old, I used to lead other children. Magtatayo kami ng maliit na chapel. Kami lang din, parang makeshift. Hindi, tatayo kami ng chapel, lagay kami ng cross doon, at magdadasal kami. Tapos gagawa kami ng procession. Ako din ang pari. Ako ang leader. Maliit pa, isipin mo yan. Then later on, nung kami malaki-laki na ako, I would lead the people, I would lead the children to go to church. So I would bring them to church, to go to confession, to go to communion. Ganon, hindi ko rin maintindihan bakit ganon ang ginagawa ko. Mukhang there was already I would say, maybe a sign of the vocation. Because then, when I finished my elementary, I wanted to join the priesthood immediately. But my parents did not allow because I was too young maybe. They said, continue your studies. So I took up my first year high school. Tapos I asked again, ayaw pa rin nila akong payagan. Too young. So I continued my second year high school. After second year, nag-request na rin ako. Sabi ko, this time, I will go talaga. Hindi na ako pumayag na hindi ko papasukin.
Tulad ng pangkaraniwang binata, naranasan din ni Father Polinar ang mga aktibidades na ginagawa ng mga kabataan. Ngunit hindi naging madali ang pag-aaral niya sa loob ng seminaryo sa hirap ng buhay.
So, pumasok na ako sa seminaryo, third year high school. And I finished my high school and seminary at tuloy-tuloy yun hanggang naging pari. Yun. Maraming problemang dinaanan. Hindi ko na nakalain na maging pari talaga ako dahil sa mga pangyayari nung ako'y estudyante pa, mga doon sa seminaryo, mga pagka-naughty, gano'n, bilang mga teenagers, against other seminarians, mga away, gano'n. At meron din akong mga paghihirap sa financing. Kasi my parents, hindi naman mayayaman ang parents ko. So, palagi akong naghirap sa tuition fees. Kaya, several times, lalo na nung I was in major seminary in Cebu, many times, before exams, I had to go home to get money. And I go back to the seminary without money. I could not take the exams.
Father, pwede po ba ninyong ibahagi sa yung buhay mo bilang pari?
When I became a priest, no? This is in 1964. My God, tandaan na pala ako. I am 41 years a priest. Was ordained in 1964, May. And I was assigned assistant priest in the cathedral for 2 years. After that, I was assigned as a parish priest in Our Lady of Lourdes Parish in Tagbilaran City. This is actually a chaplaincy. No? It's not a full-fledged parish at that time. And I was 8 years in that place. Within these 8 years, I got involved with so many things. I was involved in the cursillos. I was involved with youth, the Student Catholic Action. I was involved with Catholic Action in the Philippines. So those were my assignments as a priest. So when I was a parish priest in Our Lady of Lourdes Parish, Tagbilaran City, I was trying to help the people, not just the parishioners who had enough, but I was more concerned for the less fortunate parishioners. One time in my parish, there were 5 girls that were somehow, I would say, abused by a notorious person. A notorious person. She brought these girls to island, and they were abused. I came to know it, but the families would not say anything because he also threatened the families that if they will question, he will finish them. So I said, this is stupid. And we cannot just keep our mouth shut on this. So what I did was I denounced this in my homily. One Saturday, the evening mass that I had, I denounced this. The next day, Sunday, I denounced it in all my masses. Without naming names, of course. I'd never mention any name. I just denounced the act in the afternoon mass. After my mass, there were people, goons, who came to get me. Praise God, I was able to escape. I was able to get out of my place and go under under my convento at the time, and I was hiding there beside the sea. I could hear them getting into my house, saying, "Asa na siya? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?" So I could hear them, but I was hiding inside, along the seashore, along the rocks, with the rocks, and I was just watching if both ends, the other end and at my back, if they were coming, if they were going around. Happily, they did not do that. So that I just crawled down up to the other side, and I was able to crawl through the walls, and I got a tricycle, and I went to the bishop's house. The situation became so bad that even the mayor was afraid already of something will happen. So he provided a policeman to stay in the church 24 hours, stationed there. But then I cannot just stay in the house, in the church all the time, in the office.
Hindi pa roon nagwakas ang panggugulo sa kanya ng taong binabatikos niya hanggang sa
One day, I was in another town. This was in the town of Luway, Bohol. I was with the mayor of Luway because we were good friends. We were at the ports having some kind of snacks. And I was facing the road, the highway. All of a sudden, I saw his jeep. He was coming, and he parked at the other side. He came forward, and he saw us in the porch, the second floor. He said, "Oh, it's good that you are here." I said, "Yes. Why? What do you want? Ano bang gusto mo? Mabuti na dito ka. This is ano tawag dyan? This is a neutral ground." Sabi niya, "This is a neutral ground." Sabi ko, "Sige, pasok, come in." Umakyat. Aba, talaga, natakot ng mayor. Kasi, delikado. It was already a talk in our place na talagang we were in conflict with him. I was in conflict with him. So, natakot ng mayor. Tumayo siya sa aking harap. Nandyan ang staircase. Andito ako, dito ang mayor. Umupo siya dyan sa likod niya, ang hagdanan. Meron siyang pistola sa likod. He has a pistol in the back. I was holding a tinidor because we were having merienda. So he started asking me, he started questioning me, bakit daw inatake ko siya. Sabi ko, sa totoo, hindi kita inatake. Sabi ko, ang dinidenounce ko lang ay ang masamang gawa. I'm denouncing the evil. I'm not denouncing anybody. So ikaw palang gumawa dyan. Sabi na, teka muna, I said, "But why are you affected? I'm not mentioning any name. So if you are affected, then you must be the one doing that." He said, No, it's my brothers and sisters who are agraviado and so on. I said, "Wait a minute. No matter who is agraviado, you or your brothers, I tell you, if you do something against me," I said, "I'm going to finish you all." So, tinakot ko siya. "I'm going to finish you all." Pag ako'y namatay, sabi ko, alam ko kung saan ako pupunta. At ako lang mag-isa. Wala akong mga anak, wala akong pamilya. Pero kayo, may mga pamilya kayo. Sabi ko, kung anong mangyari sa akin, uubusin ko kayong lahat. Sabi niya, no, Father, teka muna. Parang naniwala siya, natakot din siya. Paano ko ba siya ubusin? Wala naman akong tinidor lang hawak ko. Pero, the thing is, we were talking, and I was conscious of his pistol at the back. I was holding a tinidor. What I had in mind was, pag mag-action yun na bunutin niya yung pistola niya, talagang sundutin ko yung mata niya, talagang bahala na kung mag-roll kami down sa staircase. So, that's the conflict. See? And all this is because I stood for what was right. See? I could not tolerate that as a shepherd, as a priest, parish priest of that area. These people, some of them were my parishioners. Can you imagine that if I just keep my mouth shut? What kind of a priest would I be? Sumisigaw sa akin, ikaw, sirang ulo ka na pari. Tago ka lang sa sutana mo. Wala kang kano-ano nga pari. At the top of his voice, in a Sunday Mass, punong-puno ang simbahan.
Bilang pari, naging tagapagtanggol din si Father Polinar ng mga mahihirap, lalo na ang mga naabuso nating mga kababayan sa Bohol. Siya rin ang nagsilbing boses ng masa na naging dahilan upang malagay ang buhay niya sa alanganin. Father, paano po ba kayo na-involved sa mga farmers nung panahon na yun?
I was somehow noticed probably by the social action people, activists at that time. So they invited me to join them in their activities. They would go to the farmers and they will give teaching to the farmers, organize the farmers. And I saw the suffering of the farmers. We would be there during like harvest time and how the harvest is divided. You feel bad. The farmers had been tilling the field and working hard, and that after the sharing, after the harvest, you have the produce, and they will just share it 50-50. 50 goes to the farmer, 50 goes to the owner. But even before that, it was 70-30. I felt bad. So that way, I got more involved with the farmers. I pitied the farmers, and I started to help them. I started to work for them. Later on, I got involved in the organization of farmers. By doing this, I also incurred the anger of the landlords. See, the landlords, those who own the lands, they felt bad with me. And so I think some of these landlords were threatened by my involvement with the farmers. We were organizing the farmers. Those who own the land would be threatened, and they would attack me. When I preach about it, about injustice. I preach about how our farmers are being treated. One time, I was in another parish. I was preaching during a 40 hours devotion. And my sermon, I would say, I think, irritated one of the landlords there. And he's in an authority in the government. He was a board member of the province. My God, the next day, I found myself in the papers. I was attacked in the papers, local papers, about the way I was preaching. So I fought back. I asked the newspaper, I also want to be heard. I presented also my side. Then they attacked me on radio. I also went to the radio. One time, I had to denounce a landlord because I got the news that this landlord really somehow maltreated his tenants. He hit them with the butt of his gun, barrel of his gun. The butt of his gun. He would hit them, and then he would hit their houses, no? Like machine gun their houses. No? And somehow it came to my attention, and I had to denounce it in the pulpit without naming names again. So tinira ko talaga sa pulpito na these are things that should not exist in our society, in a Christian society. We are a Christian people, and look how this person is, how our brothers are treated, how our moneyed people, our landlords are treating their tenants. So I was denouncing that. Now it came to the attention not the knowledge of the one who was doing that, the landlord who was doing that. And that was Saturday evening. The next day, Sunday, in my masses, he attended in the afternoon mass. Oh my God. When I saw him there, I have been denouncing him from Friday evening, Saturday evening mass to morning Sunday, and now he's there in the mass in the afternoon. When I saw him, I was thinking, shall I preach the same sermon or shall I change my topic? But then I was thinking, if I change my topic, then this fellow will say, look, anong klaseng pare ito eh? Dahil lang nakita niya ako na ako ang involved dyan, nandito sa kanyang harap, matatakot na akong magsalita sa katotohanan. So I said, no, I am going to preach the same sermon, even if he's there. So I preached that sermon. I denounced that fellow. I denounced what he was doing. I said, sinabi kong ginawa niya, minasingan niya ang mga bahay ng kanyang mga tenants at parang pinalo niya ng baril ng kanyang baril ang mga tao. So, mga tenants. So, dinenounce ko siya. Alam niyo, as I said, I preach with a blackboard. After my 15 minutes homily, I said, any question? Wow, here comes this man.
Sir Aulo, kang pari ka. Wala kang kwenta. Nagtatago ka lang sa iyong sutana. Walang kwentang pare.
At the top of his voice, in a Sunday Mass, punong-puno ang simbahan. Kaya, ako, relax lang ako doon. Pagkatapos nung talagang masamang mga words niya sa akin, bumalik sa kanyang upuan doon sa likod. Sabi ko, mga kapatid, nagulat ako, bakit itong tao nagsalita ang ganito? Siya palang gumawa dyan. Kasi, bakit nagagalit siya? Yeah. Wala naman akong sinabing pangalan. Pag hindi marumi ang kamay mo, hindi ka man maglilinis. Why is he washing his hands? He must be the one who is doing it. At lalo siyang nagalit. Tumakbo na naman siya sa aking harap. Ganun. Talagang shouting, calling me names, dirty words, shouting, cursing me. Ako naman, talagang, I think the grace of God was really working. I was so cool, I was so relaxed. Then after he went back, yung pangalawang pagsigaw niya, by the way, may pistola sa kanyang likod. See, he had a pistol at his back. Sabi ko, mga kapatid, kayo na lang bahala kung anong isipin niyo sa tao na ito. Kasi I think it's getting clear, siya ang involved dyan. So, bahala ng Diyos sa kanya, sana magbago ang kanyang pagkatao. Then, tuloy ang Mass. My God, you can see that during that process, nang sigaw siya, walang imik ang simbahan. You can hear a needle drop. Talagang so quiet. After the Mass, puntahan sa akin yung mga tao, Father, grabe ka naman. Ang tapang mo naman. Sabi ko, awan ko, hindi ko rin maintindihan. Anong gagawin ko? Hindi naman ako pwedeng tumakbo. Nagmimisa ako. So, I had to keep my control. So, grabe, parang walang nangyari sa'yo. Ang kalma-kalma mo. Sabi ko, hindi lang nyo alam kung anong nangyari sa puso ko at that time. I was really struggling. You know? But that man got involved also with so many other things. When martial law days, I think he got arrested also for other matters. I don't know where he is now, if he's still alive. I have no idea. So that's how I got involved with the farmers.